This is actually the second time this trailer behind me was set on fire. Tonight, Somerset Borough Police are telling us that they believe a single person or a single group of people are committing serial arson. Jen, I'm told that a woman was taken to Conemaugh Memorial Medical Center with several gunshot wounds. This happened right after 10 o'clock. Right next to this house, this blue house right here, got struck by lightning. One of the neighbors I talked to right here tells me he saw it. It hit the right side of the house, kind of went down the downspout. We're here behind the mayor's house right now. Lots of paper supplies and cleaning products. Those are needed. Now, as you can see behind me, the crews here are just cleaning up. They're making sure there are no more hot spots. This tree barely missed this house. There is a lot of damage all over the place, so be careful where you're driving. This is not your first time running. It's been close several times. What are you hoping to accomplish here? This case started off with 3 defendants. The jury was sent home a little more than an hour ago. There are still a ton of police vehicles and state troopers lining the street here, along with the Cambria County CERT team. This is the biggest fundraiser of the year for you guys. So, how much are you expecting to raise, and what will that go toward? Cleaning up the debris is no easy task at Martin's Garden Center.
We got to go ahead, clean it up.
And for owner Daniel Martin, it's a tough sight to see.
Step out of the house, you see this, I'm like, wow, I come down here and the whole thing's engulfed. I'm like, man, this has got to be a dream. But you're just totally helpless. There's just nothing you could do.
Luckily, the majority of their products were unharmed after Tuesday night's fire.
Just the retail office space and the storage that's been destroyed. But our trees, flowers, and all that is still good. If I were you, I'd make a pile right up by this dirt pile, because I can drive right in here with my loader with that grabber. I can just grab the whole thing.
Sounds good.
Sound good? Thanks, Keith.
Family and friends had their gloves on Wednesday and were hard at work. Keith Peachy spent his day off of work helping here.
Looks like there are some salvageable things here. Lots of charred remains, and so lots to do. Lots of dirt.
Martin says it's going to cost a lot of money. Inventory alone.
I haven't put numbers together yet, but probably 50,000, 100,000 range. And of course, 2 buildings were destroyed.
It shows there's a lot of good community support here. They touch a lot of people's lives. A lot of people do business here. And I think that shows on a day like this.
It's a busy time of year for the Garden Center, and they hope to be up and running soon.
We haven't really decided what we're doing as far as a total rebuild, but we're just right now doing some temporary things that we can operate, and then we're going to move forward from there.
655, go ahead.
Dispatchers with Cambria County 911 are constantly back and forth with callers and first responders to make sure everyone gets the help they need.
Engine 80, engine 84, 2 on scene available.
On Saturday, they got a call about a plane in distress from someone driving nearby the Evansburg airport. Shortly after, the pilot himself called 911 saying he crashed his plane.
We thought we had a good plot on it, based on the cell towers that actually plotted across the street, across Route 22 from the airport.
The pilot's wife then got on the phone.
Can you get anything from my cell phone?
I'm plotting you in the area of Griffith Street off of Admiral Perry Highway. Do you know where Route 22 is?
I don't know.
But when police and fire arrived to the first pinged location, they couldn't find anything. At one point, 911 lost the pilot's call.
And a few minutes later, he called back, and they plotted on the other side of the airport.
Larry, I have a 2019 on this cell phone, and it's plotting by Beulah Road here.
Supervisor Larry Penitzer says the cell phone was unregistered and could only call 911.
We weren't able to call the cell company to have them ping the phone to see where it was. It's just a matter of that. It may show you in the right place, it may not, but we certainly can't depend on that.
The family of 4 flying from out of town had no idea where they were, and 911 sent first responders up Beulah Road with sirens on so the pilot could hear them.
I hear sirens now.
You hear sirens?
Yes.
Okay, in what direction do you hear them coming?
Well, I gotta get my wits to me here.
The sound of sirens faded in and out as dispatchers tried to point first responders in the right direction.
The people on your plane, what's the status of their injuries?
I think my wife broke her arm, and my daughter seems to be okay. My son is unresponsive.
A MedStar helicopter was sent in to help find the plane and then transport patients to the hospital. 44 minutes to find the plane, and even longer to take them to safety. It's a glimpse into history, more than 7 decades old. A B-29 bomber named Fifi sits on the tarmac as Robert Senft looks on.
I have a personal friend. He's passed away now. He was a dentist here in Johnstown. When he was 19 years old, he was a crew chief on a B-29. You just wish those people were still around. You could still listen to them, and their knowledge of this is amazing.
Many who fought in World War II aren't around anymore, but volunteers with the Commemorative Air Force are.
We keep these airplanes flying so that they can tell the story and the lessons of World War II.
The history is more amazing than the fact that the airplanes are still here.
This B-29 never saw combat overseas, but was used for training.
You know, when you move this wheel, you're moving cables that go all the way to the tail and actually move the flight controls.
It takes pilot Doug Rosendahl and at least 5 other crew members to fly the plane.
30 years ago, I learned to fly these types of airplanes from guys who actually flew them in the war. Today, none of those guys are left flying.
That's why sharing this flying museum is even more important.
It's the airplane that's most famous because it's the airplane that delivered the atom bomb that ended the war in Japan in 1945. This is the signature of Dutch Van Kirk, who was the navigator on the Enola Gay, August 6, 1945.
The maps, instruments, and radios all help to tell the story of American patriotism and ingenuity that ended a world war and set the course of the world for decades to come.
What they did with these airplanes and how they saved this country from the oppression of the Nazis is worth knowing.
On the lookout, and it's up and swing out to center field.
A couple of these guys are banging it right out over the fence. They did well.
Home run material, boom! He knocks it down to left field.
This is our 11th year of playing baseball here. We've had about 100 kids play every year. We have children from all over central Pennsylvania region.
I'm here with my grandson, Elliot, who this is the opening day game. He plays for the Athletics, and it was awesome to watch him.
Will.i.am up at the plate, and he is ready for the pitch.
They obviously have a lot of fun doing that, but they do a good job too.
Yeah! Woo! Go, go, go! Elijah is our son. He's 7, and he's very, very excited to start baseball today. The Miracle League. It's his first year, actually, so we're all really excited. He's got everyone here. Woo! Yeah, Bobby's run the bases! It's his first year. He's overcome so much. You know, this whole year he's learned to talk. He's found his voice, and he's very excited. His big brothers play baseball, and they play all the time, so we're at games a lot, you know.
Now their brother can come to their game and watch them play baseball.
For any kids to have an opportunity to play baseball is an American pastime, and to have a field and a facility like we do here in Blair County, a general overall environment where everybody wins, is pretty cool. Everybody is welcome, and it is an experience that shouldn't be missed if you have the opportunity to bring a player. And she scores! Nicely done, Ace!